Hey, it's Kennedy.
What up?
Okay. Straight to it this time, huh? No
Yeah.
CP time.
Nah.
Okay.
The Slash Brothers Podcast, the greatest podcast of all time. The Slash Brothers Podcast, the greatest podcast of all time.
Yup.
The Slash Brothers Podcast, the greatest podcast of all time. The Slash Brothers Podcast, the greatest podcast of all time.
Yep.
Ace Kennedy, my brother from another mother.
What up?
What's happening, bro? Hey, what's happening, man?
Yo, chilling over here, brother.
Hey, man, it's been crazy. We had a plan, a couple things we was gonna get into, man, and then I see this stuff about an hour and a half ago about Lebanon, man. It's been wild, huh?
Yeah, I'm just praying for everybody involved, man. I don't know all the details of what happened. Just know that, when you see images like that, you just can't do nothing but just pray. You know what I'm saying? And, hopefully they do an investigation, figure out what's going on, get to the bottom of that. But, that was tragic, bro.
What have you heard so far? Because I only saw the video and then I started reading a little bit on it a little later, though. So,
only thing I've heard, again, I didn't do any personal research, but what I heard is that there was it was near a place where they house missiles. So obviously, if anything explosive happens, it's a wrap. So, you know what I'm saying? And I'm grateful at this time that we had the video footage, not necessarily to see the destruction, but it's always good to be in the know. And, so the thing is that I know a lot of people who were recording after they seen the aftermath, like, yo, let me take cover myself. So,
right.
Like I said, I didn't do any research on it. I've been at work all day, so I didn't get a chance to really dive off into it. But what little I heard was that it was near some sort of missile facility, and so praying for all those involved.
I think the thing that really that's not necessarily surprised me is that when you think of like some kind of explosion of that size, you normally think, all right, this is like some kind of bomb or something or whatever, right, though, man. And so everyone always comes off right up the riff when you see that mushroom-sized cloud. You assume that it's either something atomic, something nuclear, or whatnot. I thought that what was crazy, though, man, is just from watching the first video I saw was one that I saw from that pit, and it looked like the scene from some kind of movie, though, man. How it looked like that explosion cleared the building, but also cleared like what could have been a whole block, though, bro. It was wild, though, man.
I thought it was like I've been watching Umbrella Academy. I thought it was one of the opening scenes from Umbrella.
No, don't. I haven't started watching it.
That's all I said was opening scene.
I started watching it this week.
Well, you better get on it because you the one that put me on the Umbrella Academy, so it's your fault.
I have not seen it yet, though, bro, but I'm trying to start watching it because this is my thing. I know that once I get into it, that it's gonna be it. So I figure that I got to get a nice little window carved out, and Wednesday likely will be the day that I can just carve out some time to go ahead and watch it.
That's what's up.
Yeah. So what else you got on deck, man? What you
Man, listen, too excited. So I told you that I was investing in getting some more sounds, stuff like that. So I did that, and then I ran into a problem because I didn't have the right hub for my USB ports to house everything. So I had to invest in one of those. So that came in today. So I got to get all of that stuff hooked up. Also, I sent you a rough cut of the video, still working on it. First reactions from you was pretty good. I mean,
dope. No, it looks dope. It looks dope.
Yeah, I'm excited for that. Me and the videographer have been going back and forth from that. Due to him having surgery, I've been doing most of the editing, but he still shot the video. And once I get my cut done, then we'll get it over to him to make the final adjustments, and then get it over to you for yet the final adjustment. So, all in-house process. It takes a little bit longer, but hey,
it takes longer though. It takes longer when you're doing it from the ground up. Because this was funny. I'm not gonna lie. So I was supposed to start editing my video
Yeah.
right? And I had been parking it, been trying to play around with some stuff and everything. Once I saw yours, I was like, oh, let me go ahead and get on my stuff though, man.
Hey, I'm trying to get mine out because I know once you get started, you don't stop. Boy, you be
oh man, I'm hoping that probably, bro. Like I'm talking about, like I already know how I want to edit it in my head. I just gotta do it. But if I can get the idea in my head out, then I think that it should be real dope though, man. But I'm not gonna lie. You kind of gave me that extra little boost to want to go ahead and like lit the fire to say you need to go ahead and get on your stuff.
Yeah, I'm excited for it, man. I'm so ready to do some new music, but obviously I gotta get this one out first. What's going on, Mark? Good to see you, bro. But yeah, definitely doing that. Also, man, got a couple of shoe deliveries to get out. A couple of people's stuff came in, so I got to get them out. Of course, you know, that means that some new stuff came in for myself, so I'm excited about it.
Listen, you know what? This is completely not. Listen, I just thought about this.
What's up,
bro? So two things. One, did you see? There's a video that Katie Ledecky, Olympic swimmer, she is out here doing a commercial, I think, or doing some kind of sponsorship for milk, chocolate milk, right? Okay. And she's swimming with a glass of chocolate milk on her head. Doesn't spill a single drop.
No.
She is in a pool. Yeah, she is in a pool. She has a snorkel, but she's basically swimming, doing her breaststroke or whatever, and the milk is just balancing on it. Impressive. I don't know why. I'm already so easily entertained, bro. But that was pretty impressive, though, man. I said, yo.
I'm definitely gonna have to go see that.
You gotta see this though, man. It's incredible. The other thing that I thought was just incredible. Your boy Donald J 45 does it again, though, bro. Does it again, bro.
What did he do this time, bro?
Okay, so two things he did. He was going Drake back to back, right? First off, I saw him say something about he didn't know who John Lewis was to speak one way or the other about him. They were asking about why he didn't attend his eulogy and everything like that and everything. So the natural response to someone who's asking the question, of course, is that that just seemed like if he's a member of Congress, member of whatever government, that, you know, that that's the presidential thing to do, right? That you just go. And so, but it just reminded me that, well, he's not very presidential, and not just that, he's not a politician, right? He's a businessman. So it makes sense that just doing something like that, because that's what you think that a president would do, that it would just be something natural. But what also is funny is when he said he didn't know very much about John Lewis, I was like, you know what, man, part of me is not that mad about that, right? Because, you know, it's something to be said. I think that he's not a politician. It could be that maybe he just didn't follow, you know, politics and things of that nature for very much. So it would not surprise me, though, bro, that as baffling as I think that it sounds, that he wouldn't know who John Lewis is, even though he know that John Lewis has been everyone. I think of John Lewis. I think of, while I don't know every single detail about him, that I know that he's been fighting for voter rights, voter suppression, everything like that, though, man. But surely, right? The president of the United States knows these little nuances about certain people that are within government, though, bro. But I was like, you know what? It didn't surprise me that, you know, hey, he's not very presidential. He's not a career politician. Maybe he doesn't know it, though, bro. Blew me away, though. But the other thing,
it didn't bother me at all, because I mean, the thing is, people have too much expectations for this dude. And
there we go. Like, you know what, though, you're supposedly a businessman, so I get it. The other thing that got me, though, I saw this video on the Twitter, right? And this is funny because I like I said, I go on Twitter maybe once a week, so I see the Katie Ledecky video of her swimming on there. The other thing that I saw is there was this interview apparently of your boy 45 on HBO, and he's getting interviewed by this cat. I don't know what news outlet he was with, but this guy, Donald Trump, is basically explaining to him that no, our results in numbers when it comes to that Budweiser virus, no, we're good. We're doing the best. And this dude is like, well, what are you talking about? Like, no, that there's more deaths in the United States than any other place. And he's just like, No, that's not true. When you look at these numbers, look at this number. This number shows that you're in last place. Now, he said last place means that we're in first place, right? And so when you see this video, bro, Donald Trump has all of these. He has these sheets like they're you can tell they were premeditated. These are these facts, and the dude's like, what are you talking about? Like, no, the U.S. has more. He's like, no, we got. And Donald Trump says, well, we got more cases because we test more than any other country. Though he's like, but no, you're telling me that the United States numbers for this are better. He said, yeah, we're the best in the world. He said, but what facts are you going off of? And so the guy,
he sit there and ask the aid and everything. And
oh my God! No, but this is this is a new one. This is new. This one, I think this may have just came out like yesterday or something like that. It was on HBO. But bro, it's a 3-minute video that I was just like, bruh, like seriously, dog, seriously.
Yeah, well, there was a similar one that was on Fox News at that, and the dude was grilling him, and so yeah, Donald Trump was calling the aid over, like, what is
yeah.
And it was like, no, he's actually right. It's like, and so then he tried to move past it, and something like he kept calling him out on every single thing. So I like that, you know, it's not.
You gotta see this one though. Yeah. This one right here, top scale, and this is the funny thing about it. I gotta say, because the funny thing about it is that I think that this dude may not have even been from a U.S. outlet. Like he sounded like he could be British, right? And it was wild though, bro, because I was just like, he's just sitting here thinking like, bro, you got, there are other countries that are improving, right? And so he was like, yeah, he said, you mean to tell me that you think that the United States is doing better because you got more deaths than Germany, then Hong Kong. And then he says, oh, well, you know, I don't know about that because those numbers. And so the dude said, wait a minute. Are you trying to tell me that they're inflating their numbers, right? And so he's like, well, I got good relationships with Hong Kong, you know, with Korea. You know, that's not what I'm saying, but I'm just saying. So he's like, all right, well, tell me what you're saying, though, man. That it is one of the most mind-blowing 2 to 3 minute videos you'll see about him. It sums everything up, though, bro. Anywho, man, shout out to the homegirl Brittany Rowe checking in, though. Appreciate the love as always, though, man. Hey, man, but NBA, your boy Lou Wings, he back.
Oh, he back?
He back. They still lost though to the Suns, no less. Though I think Devin Booker, Booker might have taken it. They lost. Yeah, they lost earlier today.
Okay, yeah, I didn't.
I don't know if Lou Wings played though, man, but I didn't see the game. But I know Lou Wings is back. All I got was the update that Devin Booker hit him with a game winner, though, man.
Okay, I can see that.
Yeah. I've been pretty impressed that a lot of these games have been very close games, but then the scoring, though, man, like I'm blown away about how you're seeing these outbursts of scoring, like T.J. Warren scoring 50-some points, right? And I don't think he's ever scored a 40-point game. I saw Michael Porter Jr. come out and drop like 30-something points or whatever. And he was supposed to be, you know, the #1 recruit from high school and coming out. They thought he was going to be the #1 draft pick if he hurt his back. So I was blown away at these scoring. Your boy Anthony Davis finally shows up in the fourth quarter, though, man.
See, that last game when he had 3 points in the third quarter, he wasn't showing up for none of the game. He was just there.
I got a question for you there.
What's up?
Ace Denzel.
What up?
First off, Brittany Rowe, you right. I don't think he's going back to Magic City. I think he's staying in the Magic Kingdom out there, though, man. But he got his fix. I can understand. He had to get away. That was it. But let me ask you this, though. If the Lakers, right, with LeBron playing the way that he's been playing, because I think LeBron is kind of trying to concede more to Anthony Davis, right? Bigger picture. And I think that with hold on, where am I going with this? Follow me for a second. They beat the Clippers. The Clippers didn't have Lou Wings. They still don't have Trez, and they still don't know if Trez is even coming back or whatnot. And even with that being the case, they still got 2 top 10 players. Paul, first of all, you consider Paul George top 10?
I do.
Okay.
Wait. Yeah.
Top 10. Okay. Yeah. So then with that being the case, all right, they turned around and let's say today they lost to the Suns, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's that. Those are two the LA teams, right? The other thing is that I saw Jason Tatum still struggling to kind of come along, and he was at the time of the break on fire, right? I saw Philly, who is an East contender. I saw them take a L. I saw the Rockets beat the Bucks after being out rebounded by like 20 some rebounds, right? So my question for you is who in the hell is going to win this thing? Is it that wide open?
It is that wide open because I mean the thing is that you got to understand the season would have been over, in prior years. So this break has rejuvenated some people. Like this is the best Russell Westbrook has looked with the Houston Rockets. And my thing is that I don't like him with Houston. Obviously, it is what it is. I know he's there, and I love the Thunder team the way we're constructed. But at the same time, the way that he looks, it's become very dangerous. And Chris Weston, you can get out of here with that crap, bro.
Kansas City Thunder.
Yeah.
PG's been balling, but Russ was hooping.
Yeah.
Before the break, right? You'd be hard pressed.
They still couldn't. They didn't have chemistry yet.
Yeah.
But the thing was, in the particular game that I watched when they played the Bucks, Harden had them fouls early, so it was the Russ show, and Russ was killing them because Russ would drive to the hole. He would either kick it out, or he would do his little short jumper, or he would drive to the basket. And so the defense was off balance. You really just didn't know what he was going to do. So, and I mean, they have played well. I mean, for them to not even play that well the first game and come back and win it and then beat the Bucks, man, that's got to put the rest of the league on notice. But at the same time, the Raptors got a chip on their shoulder. You know what I'm saying? So
I agree. That is another one of my points. So, right. So I think that the Raptors then coming back and beating the Lakers, who people have as the presumptive favorites to win the whole thing, or at least prior to this, because they got LeBron and AD. And I think that they also have two of the top, 5 players right in the league. If you say that, Anthony Davis is top 5, but I think that either way though, this season, so it's almost like this is the way I look at it, because you had a good point. The season would have already been over with. We would have pretty much already had a champion already crowned. And so now that you're picking up the season right now, this would be when players are working on their games, right? So they're coming back and they got a whole new bag that they've been working on. And now I think that's why you're seeing the scoring go up for all these different teams. I think because you see like Ja Morant, for example, he came back. He's a little bit more bulkier, right? You see Paul George balling out of control, and Paul George is out here looked like he was in. When I saw him playing against the Lakers, I was like, PG is in his bag. And I've always been kind of critical about PG, specifically in the playoffs, right? But regular season PG, he was in his bag, and he was looking like nobody can guard him.
That's right.
And then when I'm looking at AD and I'm seeing AD and I'm looking at him going all around, and he is in his bag. It's early. You had this break and everything like that. So now people are fresher. And I just think that because players now are fresher, it's almost like if you were starting the NBA, if a regular season, let's say in a normal year, if a regular season, and you said, well, the playoffs are going to start at the All-Star break, right? February is when playoffs start. So your teams are that's when you see all the players are putting up those crazy numbers, because it's like the ones that are in shape and that's been doing the work, it's going to show. And that's why you always see these new guys make the All-Star team, like Brandon Ingram and everything like that, made the first year because he put in the work off season.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking like now, bro, like when I saw the Rockets beat the Bucks, and the Bucks, from all accounts, statistically should have won the game, I was like, yo, if the Rockets are on like that, I got to be honest, while I have been called a James Harden hater, and I do hate on him, I'll say that, I just think that with James Harden and Russ on, if the Rockets are at the top of their game doing what they do for an entire playoff, meaning they're just on, I don't see why they couldn't beat anybody.
Absolutely. Now, I think stylistically, the Clippers might match. They might have some struggles with the Clippers, but the Lakers, they could run through them. And I would just have to say that PG is definitely better than AD in my opinion. Just thought I'd put that out there. Yep, PG is better than AD all day.
Okay. Two things.
Yep.
Tell me why Skip Bayless says AD stands for all done, because he's all done playing by the third quarter, right? that's one thing. But bruh, so you what is it?
Hold on, let me respond to Brittany real quick. That's the thing though. He's not consistent. He did have a great game. A great game. But he should be doing this all the time. He doesn't.
I'm gonna tell you this.
AD's kind of soft.
Let me tell you this, bro. I'm gonna tell you this. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I think that the difference between the two is that guardable, right? Let's just say hypothetically, you can put him, he can be in self-check, right? He might just not put up a lot of shots in the fourth quarter, whatever it is, but the other team isn't going to stop him. I think the difference is that PG is guardable. Like, you can check PG. Now, PG might be on, right, that day, but I think that you can guard Paul George one-on-one. I think that if you try to guard Anthony Davis and you don't structure your defensive game plan around that, he's going to eat you on. I say that only because the other day when he put up the 40 points, it wasn't that he just put up the 40 points. He put up 40 against Rudy Gobert, a two-time defensive player of the year, could win it this year, right? He's always going to be in contention for it. So it says, who are you putting up your numbers on? I think Paul George is guardable.
He is, but the problem is Anthony Davis does not show up like that all the time, right? So the thing is that while he did put that up on Rudy Gobert, does he consistently do that every single game? Like, he doesn't, because he doesn't also, AD doesn't consider himself like the traditional five where he's going to stay down low and bang it out. That's what I mean by he's too soft.
That's the reason why, that's more the reason why I think that makes AD more dangerous as a player on your team. Because here's where I'm going with that. Because AD, if you get Rudy Gobert guarding him, he'll take Rudy Gobert out the paint, and then he can still either shoot over him or go around him because he's fast. He got faster feet. If you put a Paul George on him, then he'll put you in the paint and he'll do that work. I just think that, to me personally, right, here's the way I look at it. I think right now that LeBron James can guard Paul George for an entire game. I think that if Anthony Davis playing like this was on another team, LeBron James, who probably weighs as much, if not more, I don't think that he can guard Anthony Davis.
Charlie, the problem is having the capability of doing something and doing something is two different things.
I know what you're saying. And listen,
so that's what
playoff PG is overrated.
Yeah, playoff PG hasn't been, but we haven't seen playoff PG healthy since Indy. So Mark
said playoff PG ain't guardable. He's very guardable to me. He is very guardable.
We haven't made the playoffs yet. A healthy PG. That's what I'm saying.
If you out on the court, listen, bro.
I'm sorry, bro. He wasn't healthy for the last 2 years. He had shoulder surgery. So the thing is this is the thing. I get what you're saying about AD. If AD came and played like that all the time, we wouldn't be having this discussion, but he doesn't. So if he hasn't even made it to the playoffs yet.
I just don't. My thing is that if they're like this, to me, this is why I look at it. To me, they are the perfect argument about who you think is better, right? Because to me, I think that I don't want to hear nothing about how good PG is until I see him play better in the playoff. Because here's the thing about it. The truth of the matter is when you talked about PG in Indy, right? Well, he kind of got put on. He was playing good during those playoffs, but when he came through and had the mean lean through the paint against LeBron and them, then it was like, okay, well, PG has arrived. But then on that moment, what else has he done when it mattered?
But Charles,
nothing to me.
What has AD done? I'll wait.
No, you could say that about AD because I think that AD, he's had the one decent season when he had DeMarcus Cousins, Andrew Holiday playing with him, right? And then on that year, Cousins ended up getting hurt. Now he was on the Pelicans for like 7 years before they put a decent team around him. I think that, to me personally, I think that Paul George has been on better teams. And I think that the difference is that while the difference that I think that between AD and Paul George is, you got to think, Paul George played in the East when LeBron was in the East, and he was going to never get past him. But it didn't necessarily mean that for all intents and purposes, I mean, those Celtics teams were still coming about, those same Toronto teams that was winning a lot of games. Paul George was in those times. Like, why he never could get over LeBron, that's one thing. But I think that it's different because AD was playing in the West when he was never going to be able to get past the Thunder. He was never going to be able to get past the Rockets solo, never get past all those teams who had great teams around him. So I look at the paths. PG had an easier path, even though he would have had to get through LeBron.
How did he have an easier path when PG made it to the Eastern Conference Finals? The thing is that
he had better teams, and he had better teams, and the competition was easier.
It doesn't matter. Anthony Davis has not done anything, bro.
He has not. Anthony Davis has not done anything.
He has not.
But
so again, you're trying to talk to me about what his capabilities are versus what he's done.
Listen, what I'm saying, what I'm telling you this, in terms of achievements, all AD has did was put up a bunch of numbers on a team that has not been good. But he's also played in the toughest conference when it was at its peak of talent, when the West was loaded. What I'm saying to you,
Charles,
is that Paul George did the same exact thing, right? Except that he did it in the East when the East was weaker. So for the same reason why LeBron was out there running through the East, Paul George, because I think that don't get me wrong, I think that when LeBron was over at Miami, I thought that there were some that year that LeBron and them lost to the Mavs. I thought that those seasons that he had out there in Miami were like ridiculous good. But I still don't think that they were clearly beatable, right? So I think that if Paul George is that dude in the East, he had his opportunities. Anthony Davis was never going to come out of the West. Never.
Charles, you going back to the New Orleans times and you going back to Indy times. I'm saying Anthony Davis hasn't done nothing since he's been on the Lakers. My thing is Paul George has been in the West for the last 3 years now, and he was hurt, and he was still almost considered the MVP of the league. So
Anthony Davis could be, listen, bro, Anthony Davis, there's a case that Anthony Davis could be MVP right now. There's a case that Anthony Davis right now could be Defensive Player of the Year. What you talking about, bro? What we talking about? We really go? What we talking about, bro? Anthony Davis could be. Listen, Anthony Davis leads the Lakers in every category except for assist. Bro, what are we talking about?
It's amazing that everybody else is saying the same thing that I'm saying. So
I understand that though, man. But I post everybody up who said that. Everybody who agree with you, I post all y'all up.
Yeah. You because you know what your capabilities are. That's exactly it. AD doesn't even know what he's capable of. But
listen. What we talking about, Brittany? Listen, bro. Brittany knows more about ball. Brittany is making more sense. What are we talking about here, man?
Listen.
This man was out here playing with Russell Westbrook. He was playing with Carmelo Anthony.
And he was hurt.
He was playing with Steven Adams.
And he was
playing with Dennis Schroeder.
And he was hurt.
What are we talking about here,
and
man?
He was hurt.
Sit there and tell me
he was hurt. So
listen. Okay, so when he was putting up those MVP numbers, and when he was top 10 MVP, well, why did it matter for him to be an MVP candidate? But then when he got to the playoffs, it's like that's the excuse. It wasn't the excuse when he did the numbers, bro.
Charles, answer this question. When they made it to the playoffs, was Paul George able to lift his arms before the game? Yes or no?
Yes, he took shots. He took shots.
Why did he take shots, Charles? Why did he take shots?
Listen. Dog, you make it seem like Paul George was hurt. Yes, Paul George was hurt.
No. Could he lift his arms before the game? Yes or no?
Yes, he took shots.
No, he took shots to get his arms raised. There's a difference. He was not able to raise his arms, which is why he got the shot. Stop, bro.
Why was Paul George playing then if he cannot get a shot up?
If
he's on the court, it matters. No, listen, Ahmad, if he's playing and he makes a shot, if he makes one single shot in a game, that means that to me, there's no excuse for you to not make any others. Don't take no shots or don't play.
Charles, he was in the playoffs. He was not going to play. And here's the thing. Again, you're talking about.
You say he was hurt the whole season.
He was. He
was an MVP candidate for the season. He was hurt. But then when he got to the playoffs, then it's like, oh, well, he's hurt.
Charles, answer this question. Did he not have the keto tape wrapped around his arms and now does he have them now?
Brittany Rowe might as well be with the research department right now because she's killing you because Anthony Davis injured his shoulder also. What we talking about here, bro?
Anthony Davis injured his shoulder and he ain't done nothing. So
listen, bro. What I'm saying though, Paul George has never Paul George has never not been on a team that's better than any team that Anthony Davis has been on. He's never not been on a team that's better than that.
And he's on the Lakers now, and he ain't doing nothing. So what you got to say about that?
What do you mean he's not doing nothing? That's what
he had one good game. Watching. I know what I'm watching.
You're saying so. Listen. You're saying that Anthony Davis. Listen. You're saying Anthony Davis, who started the All-Star team, who started the All-Star game. Anthony Davis, who's going to be a first team All-Pro this year. Anthony Davis, who could be in a top 5 for MVP races. Anthony Davis, who is he was a top 5 candidate for Defensive Player of the Year, hasn't done anything this year.
Yeah, he hasn't. He sits out during the fourth quarter.
You smoking that Huckabee though, bro? Like seriously though.
In a whole podcast last Friday talking about him not showing up in the fourth quarter. Now you sitting here defending him.
No, what I'm saying though, what I'm saying is that even though he's been missing in some of these fourth quarters, he's been missing them in the matters that when they count, right? So when you need him to get specific against the Clippers, right? He's been absent of those, and they've lost those games. And I do agree that he needs to step up. But to say that he's done nothing,
where was he at? Where was he at during the Raptors game?
No, he took. I don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that he's not. I'm not saying that he doesn't need to do better. He does. Right. But you're saying that you make it seem like he's trash.
I didn't. No, don't put words in my mouth. I said he hasn't
done nothing. Nothing is worse than trash. Trash means you trying something that just ain't working.
No. Here's the thing. It don't matter what you do in them first 3 quarters. LeBron has proved that the fourth quarter is where it counts. So the thing is that when they need him, that's the thing. Paul George was there when they needed him.
No, this is my thing.
Paul George is better than AD, period.
Bro, you smoking that Huckabee strong, boy. You smoking that Huckabee strong.
Question for you, though. We're talking about basketball, and I know we got some more bubble stuff to kind of talk about, but I saw an interesting thing. Master P was doing an interview, and he said something about the boy J. Cole has been training to try out for a basketball team, and the Pistons kind of been hitting.
I saw the Pistons reached out to him. I think
they even got a jersey for him and everything.
I think the Pistons reaching out to him is a publicity stunt. Let me tell you why, though, bro. Because so from what I've gathered, right, from what I've known, right, I've always known that J. Cole was a hooper, right?
Yeah.
But I don't know that J. Cole won the state championship. I don't know that he, like if you're NBA good, right, then you're in the NBA, right? And maybe you don't. I think J. Cole is probably like 6'2", 6'3", right?
Yeah.
And so my thing is that I've seen some video of J. Cole like off season working out with NBA players, and don't get me wrong. I mean, he's shooting them, and you know, when he's playing against not the NBA players, but you put together a mixtape. I can make my mixtape look like I'm ready to go to the league.
Yeah.
I'm just sitting here thinking like, bro, you know, he can ball. I saw some years ago that I don't think that people even talk about. I remember when they did the celebrity contest, Kevin Hart threw him the alley-oop, and he went up and got it. But I'm just sitting here thinking like, bro, like I know, you know, like is J. Cole better than Said Brooks? Said didn't go to the league, and Said was one of the coldest from the city, period. You know what I'm saying? So
I've never seen him hoop, but at the same time, what if he chose music over balling though?
Yeah, but I guess my thing though is that I understand, but I don't like. But you would still say, all right, he went to college. He like Dave East, probably this Dave East hooped, and Dave East played with Melo, and I think that he played with like KD and them and some other top flight players. Like Dave East was a hooper, and I don't know why he didn't play college ball or whatever. I think he may have chose the music route or whatever, or maybe he did. But I guess what I'm saying is that maybe for me to really tell more, I would have to think, okay, well, you know what? For starters, J. Cole is 30-ish, maybe knocking on 30 if he's not in his 30s, I would assume. And just to think, like, is it that easy to make the NBA that a 30-year-old cat can just be shooting around and been working out for a couple of years and say, all right, you know what? I just think of, well, Nate Robinson isn't in the league right now, and Nate Robinson is ready to go, and that's why I think I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful that if J. Cole goes to the NBA, and let's just say a team says, "Nah, bro, you got to come on through our G League," and J. Cole comes out here and light the G League up, and I would love nothing more. Well, but I just think if there's guys that I've seen like in the Drew League in LA that be balling out. Frank Nitty balls out in the Drew League, and he ain't in the NBA.
I mean, but what did the Pistons really have to lose, man? You know you're going to sell jerseys. You know you're going to put butts in seats. You can get the boy to do the halftime show. Like, I'm just saying, man, at the end of the day, what is it really going to hurt for the Pistons to bring him on?
You know, it's a spot, bro. That's the way I look at it, though, man. Like I'm hopeful that J. Cole does. Like I've seen video of J. Cole hooping, though, bro. And don't get me wrong. Like I see his videos of him shooting. You know what I'm saying? And he can shoot it. Like, and when I say shooting it, it ain't like no Tory Lanez looking jump shot. I mean, you can tell that he's a hooper, right? But I don't know, man. Master P, though, on the other hand, Master P was a hooper, though. And I think that Master P playing for the Hornets, and I think that he played, I remember Toronto for sure. Master P was a hooper. So, I mean, J. Cole, though, from all accounts, he was a hooper. And when I see him, he seems to play regularly, like he trains. Like he isn't just a dude who likes to play basketball. He trains for it, though. So I respect that he's serious about it, serious enough. But I think that it's also because he plays and works out with NBA guys to where he probably feels like, all right, I can do what they're doing. So
yeah,
I don't know. Yeah,
man, I ain't gonna lie, bro. I was, my boys did not play well yesterday, but at the same time, I was encouraged that even though we did not play that well, we still went into overtime. You know, and so I will have to say that. But, you know, we definitely have to wipe that one clean because, I mean, we play your boys AD tomorrow to see him try to put in that work. So
he ain't my boy. I'm just saying, you put me in a position where I got to defend him, though, bro. he ain't my boy like that. But I'm saying, when you say, boy.
But that's because you already don't even got love like that for PG to begin with. That's why you got all that hate in you.
It's not that I don't got. I love like this. I love PG's game, right? I love everything about his game. I like the smoothness of his game. I like that he got the size. He can go in and out. I like everything about his game. He plays, and listen, I love any player who plays defense. Like I think that it's something that you got to call somebody a two-way player these days. Like, someone's one of the top 5 two-way players. Like the fact that you can just be an offense-only player says something to me. So I respect it. I just think that to me, I'm only judging PG and Anthony Davis off of what they do in the playoffs going forward. Like what they're doing in the regular season means nothing to me. And to me, it means something to me also that even when the team wins, I am specifically looking for them to see what they do. And the reason why I'm critical of PG is because you left a team that was building around you to go be somebody else's number two times. So you got to tell me what your contributions
are. Hold on. I ain't gonna let you get that one off like that, bro. First of all,
he
was requesting a trade, and they traded him to Oklahoma City. He's already explained that wasn't even a destination on his radar. They traded him to Oklahoma City. The thing is that he asked for a second trade once he found out that both him and Russ was on the trade block. When the reports came out that they were thinking about trading Siakam for both him and Russ to the Raptors, that's when he wanted out. So I'm not even gonna let you get that one off.
He got traded to go. Kawhi Leonard said, "Go get him, and I'll go ahead." And Kawhi and PG had this whole conversation like he already knew it would happen. PG told them, "Let's go ahead and make this happen." Either way, it doesn't matter. You were traded to go be a number two times. You can, the semantics of it is need to hear that. You can say, "Oh, it wasn't his own choice." Either way, you went to two different teams.
Yes,
you were being a number two player after you were the number one player.
He was going to go. The purpose of him asking to go to LA was solely because of his mom.
I understand that.
Okay, so then
that's fine, but you go to LA to be the number two guy. You could have went to the Kings. The Kings would have made you their number one player and built around you from then. But you went to your choice were two teams.
Sacramento is not. If he said he wants to go to LA because of his family, that's where he wants to go. That's not Sacramento.
Man, listen, he was in California. All I know he was traded two times to be the number two guy on two teams when he was the number one guy. So when that means something to me. So I'm watching to see what you do as the number two guy and what are your contributions to that team's win.
And what about AD going to be the second guy?
Same with AD. Same with AD. No different. Not a single.
But all teams are constructed with at least two superstars, though. That it's like that's not even a thing anymore.
No, I understand what you're saying. But what I'm saying though, for AD in particular, you said the reason why you were wanting to lead the Pelicans is because they were never putting a team around you or putting players of your caliber during your prime. You do now. Let me see what you do. Bottom line. And so I know that you can put up the numbers, right? But is the numbers just a mirage for this is what your talent can do, but your leadership, all the intangible things that people like to toss around, I got to see it. Bottom line.
Yeah.
It's no different from Paul George.
Oh, yeah, both of them. And like I said, we'll see whose value is more as these games go on. But what else is in the pocket, brother?
Hey, man, so you know what I think is what's pretty crazy, though, man, is that this quarantine, though, bro, is bringing up these issues with relationships, man. Like, I'm sitting here looking around, and one of the things that was the craziest thing to me, bro, is that Jaguar Wright, it pops up on my phone. I get this notification that she is talking real spicy about the boy Common. I'm talking about Wendy's Nugget spicy, bro. Like, I'm talking about hot fried spicy about this dude. And it was kind of interesting, though, bro, because when I'm looking at this the first thing she said that really blew me away was that she said that the boy Black Thought wasn't writing, didn't write all of his own raps. And I was like, whoa, wait a minute now. Because most people who are true hip hop heads usually have him highly regarded lyrically and everything like that, his pen. And not to mention, he had one of those dope Sway in the Morning freestyles, epic. I think he went like 5 minutes long, killing it. So here's what I think is funny, though. She said that the boy Common sexually assaulted her while they were together, right? Now, Jaguar Wright, Ace Denzel Kennedy, I haven't even heard the name Jaguar Wright since Jay-Z did Unplugged and she did the chorus to H to the Izzo with the Roots playing, right?
It was the Cry song.
She was the one who was singing there, I think it was. Yeah. But yeah, I think that but you may be right on that one though. But I'm just sitting here thinking, like, bro, why is she bringing this up now? Does she have a project that's coming on now?
I don't know, but if I'm Common, I'm suing.
You gonna sue her?
Got to.
How? What if she's not lying?
But what if she is?
Okay, so listen. Here's what I think. This is the one thing. So let's talk about what she said, right? Because when I'm hearing her describe this, I'm not hearing her describe sexual assault, because if this is sexual assault, I think that most men have attempted to do this. Now, tell me if I'm wrong, and maybe I'm going to include myself on this. She says she has a show.
Hold on, time out. Before you say it, ladies and gentlemen, as a member of the Slash Brothers podcast, we just like to let you know that we do not condone.
Give it to him.
We don't condone sexual assault. Everyone is proven innocent until they are proven guilty. So,
I don't condone, and nor do my brother from another mother. And I don't want to belittle if she is a true victim.
Right. But we're just talking this through.
We're talking this through.
We're just off of the information that we were providing.
Off of the information. And this information is the narrative.
That's right.
This is my interpretation of this.
So we're discussing it. That's it. We do not.
She has a show, right? She just get done killing it. In my head, she's out here, you know, this is back when she was in her prime. Thick, out here looking good to the boy Common, right? So the homeboy Common, you know, get her back to the crib, and he's thinking, I've been looking at my girl looking fine for 2 hours almost. She says they get back to the crib, right? She's getting ready to lay it on down. She says, I'm tired. I don't feel like doing nothing. I ain't coming off these cakes here tonight. She said, I even slept in all my clothes just so that he know that you ain't getting none tonight. Now, mind you, this boy Common just got done seeing her rhythmic performance, right? He's getting done seeing her looking all good. He's thinking probably in his head the whole entire time, I'm about to wear these cakes out when I get to the crib. She says she's over here sleeping. The boy Common is, I'm seeing he's in my head. He's still, while she got the clothes on, she's laid up in her PJs, and the boy's still trying to slide it on off. You ain't got to do nothing. I can go ahead and get these sideways cakes. I'm cool with that. So she says, now you ain't getting none. So she says the boy Common tries to put his wang in her face, though, bro. She's knocked out. She's knocked out. And the boy Common, she wakes up to Common trying to put his meat in the face. I don't know if he's teabagging her. What? But she just said you ain't getting these cakes. So he's probably thinking, well, there's some other things that I can do. I just sit here, watch you give all of these people you find this for an hour and a half. I'm sitting here thinking like, yes, this is about to be, these cheeks is about to get clapped out here. And you tell me, no, that's fine. But does the party stop there? Ace Kennedy, am I wrong in my interpretation of this? I don't see the assault aside from him trying to clap these cakes.
You know, they're in a relationship. It's not like that he was bringing a random girl home. So I think that it is a little different. Again, I think a lot of times when we look at this whole Me Too movement and different stuff, there was a story about Aziz Ansari who had brought a chick home. They had dinner, whatever the case may be. And after they spent the night together, the next day she texted him and was like, I didn't want to do anything. And it's like, now you can't Me Too somebody for having regrets for doing something. You know what I'm saying? And while this isn't the case, all I'm saying is you can't after the fact then claim that. And like I said, them two are in a relationship. It's different. And again,
they were dating.
I don't think she's wrong in what she's feeling, because if she said no means no, I get that. But at the same time, in relationships, there's often times where one person may not want to do something, and then after some seduction, then
yes, man. I'm looking at him trying to, like, I'm looking at him as trying to be persistent, like he's pursuing her, right? Like you say, you ain't coming off the cakes. I'm sitting here thinking, like, nah, I gotta, I'm trying to picture.
I gotta take matters to my own hands.
Yes,
literally.
I am sitting here trying to figure this whole. And my thing is that, and when I listen to this interview, dude, she sounds to me to be like there's more of a backstory because she's talking like he is like the scum of the earth. And what's crazy to me about it, though, bro, she said that's what made her go ahead and break it off with him. Because if you'll do that, what won't you do? And I was like, what in the world does that mean? I don't get it. If that's the reason, that's what made you want to go ahead and break things off with him. It's because you didn't want to come off the cakes and he went and put the meat in your face.
Well, again, the reason why I say I would sue is because of the fact with how these things are viewed in today's society, you can't take that stuff lightly because it ruins people's careers. And so my thing is that Common is he's an established actor. He obviously is very influential with his music. He has a bunch of relationships. He can't afford to have that type of stuff ruin his career. So it's one of those things you have to get in front of it. You can't just rely on the media to be the judge and jury when it comes to situations like this, because even like with Bieber, right? There was something recent that happened to Bieber and he came back and sued, countersued the chick. And so the thing is that if it's because the thing is that we've seen in the past on how things affect people, and then they come out later that there was false allegations to begin with. And so while again, I'm not discrediting her account of the story, I still don't want his name drug in the mud for something that was a relationship thing versus actual sexual assault. That's just all I'm saying.
Here's the thing. I don't doubt that what she is saying is true, right? I think that if that's her account of what happens, right, that's her truth, right? That's it. And I guess I just don't see that as sexual assault, right? That your man was trying to slide a move on you. Like that's to me everyday relationship stuff. So I don't know, but that Mark, you got a good question. If he doesn't sue, do y'all feel like he's admitting guilt? I think that if he doesn't sue, then to him, he's probably thinking that I'm above this. Like the last time Jaguar Wright was hot was 2003, maybe. So that's what I'm just kind of thinking. Like this had to have been at least 15 years ago.
Nobody has the cheat code on how to handle these situations.
True.
Because earlier today, when me and Charles was talking about pre-production, I even said if I'm Common, I wouldn't say anything. I would just wait for the next big thing to happen and people will forget about it. And then if he's releases a project and somebody asks him questions, then he can answer it and clear his name. The problem is you just don't know how the public is going to react to this. Again, people are on edge. You're dealing with this Zima virus on top of the fact that you got all of the racial tensions and then the Me Too stuff. Like there's so much stuff going on. You honestly don't know how people are going to react, and people are and cancel culture. People are trying to get people out of here. So the thing is that I don't know. There's no code on how to handle it, but I think at the same time, it does show because obviously it's expensive to sue or counter sue or whatever. But the thing is that, but in the grand scheme of things of clearing your name to make sure that you don't mess up any other business ventures that you might have coming up or that could potentially happen in the future, you got to do what you got to do to protect your name, especially when somebody's just throwing it out there.
But let me ask you this though, man. Am I wrong in my assessment of this? Like, isn't this just man stuff? Like, that's just something that I'd imagine that most men have done this before?
Man, I like I said, I think most people, not just men, when it comes to when you're trying to engage in activities with your significant other, you don't just take the no as the first no. Like there, and when I say no, there's no taking of it. But at the same time, there's an attempt to like, yo, let me try this. Or I know if I let me get that massage going first. And so I'm just saying, like, stuff like that happens on the regular. And like I said, because of the fact this isn't a one night stand, this is a relationship. So you know,
I just it's hard for me to and I don't want to make light. I said maybe more, bro. I don't want to belittle this one, but I personally, if how I see this happening in my head happen, I don't see this as sexual assault. I'm not a lawyer. I'm just somebody with an opinion. And I just, when I'm looking at this, if it's exactly how she described it, I don't see that as sexual assault. But anywho, though, man, listen, relationships are wise, all right?
Yeah.
So the homeboy, I saw something that popped up that Tracy Morgan is getting divorced. He's been married for 5 years, right? I think he dated his girl. They were engaged for like a couple of years or whatnot. He's been married for
they weren't engaged that long.
Okay. 5 years they were married, right?
Yeah.
She's asking for half of everything, including the whole $14 million mansion.
Yeah.
And half of his alleged $90 million settlement from Walmart. He got into the accident and they cut him off. I don't think nobody ever knew the exact amount, but they're saying it's about $90 million. So let's just say hypothetically, if it's the 90, if that's what it is. So she's looking for $45 million and the crib.
Yeah.
And then whatever else he has. Ace Kennedy, to that you say what?
Wait a minute. Who are you?
Yeah, I'm just saying, bro. She over there looking to
finish him.
I don't get it, man. And no,
is she reaching?
She's not reaching because here's the thing, right? So the rumor has, and I've heard him speak about it. The doctors, when he was after the accident, he wasn't breathing on his own, and then they wanted to, I think, intubate him or go through his vocal cords or something to assist him in breathing. And she was the one that stopped him. She was like, listen, my husband is an entertainer. You cannot mess with his vocal cords. And once she made that decision, the next day is when he started breathing on his own. So essentially she saved his career. And so the thing is that you have to look at something like that as something that the judge will take into consideration. Now, I don't know why they're getting divorced, because sometimes different reasons for divorce can justify something like that. Like
how much is enough? Listen, for starters, I didn't know that Tracy Morgan was worth, let's just say aside from the $90 million, right? I didn't think that he was worth it. And I don't count nobody pockets. I'm just saying he's still hustle man to me. And I don't follow any Tracy Morgan. I mean, I know that he was on Saturday Night Live for, a couple of years and everything like that. He got a couple of little shows and movies that he's done, but I didn't think that Tracy Morgan had that kind of money, long bread. Well, but even with that said,
the Walmart thing put him over. And like I said, I think the only thing I can justify that for, and plus, you got to shoot high for negotiations. You shoot high, and then you meet somewhere in the middle. So maybe she only ends up with the half of the 90 mil, or maybe she'll go for a fourth of it. You know what I'm saying? But at the same token, it really depends on why they're getting divorced, because I don't think the reasons have come out. I don't think it was just irreconcilable
differences.
Yeah. So I don't know.
Listen, man, this is my thing, though, man. I understand that you helped make the call to save me, and that's how I got this $90 million settlement. But, dog, I'm the one that almost had to die to get it. So I don't think that you making that call necessarily means that you're obligated to, that kind of money. I'm just sitting here thinking like, bro, okay, man, listen. If Tracy Morgan was worth $10 million, right? And let's just say he was because he's been married before, right? So he was married for like 20 years. got with this younger girl, and then boom, 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 they get married. So if this was the woman that he was with for 20 years, then I would understand that she would say, no, man, I've given you 20 years of my life. If you don't have any prenup, I would understand if she was asking for half of everything, though, bro.
Yeah.
If dog,
But
if
again,
I didn't,
she's
if
asking, go ahead.
6 years ago, I ain't even know you. And so for you to come in my life for just 6 years, like, and then ask for half my trap, no, he need to go ahead and put some dope in her car and call the police on her, bro. Tell her that she riding dirty.
But the 90 mil that he got from Walmart happened under her watch. And she again made the decision to allow him to continue to be able to work. So I understand what you're saying. And like I said, I think you shoot high in order to come in at a reasonable amount. And
did she write any of the jokes? Did she write any of the material?
Is she taking care of the house while he's out on the road? So again, the other thing is this:
it's taking care of the house worth 45. Okay. Oh, let's flip that. If she was making $100 million and he was getting divorced and he said he wanted half, would anybody look at him differently than they're looking at her?
I mean, they looked at Mary J. Blige's husband like that. I mean, here's the thing. I'm not trying to justify it. I don't, like you said, you leave what you came with. But at the same time, from what I'm understanding, like, it also depends on what happened to cause a divorce. Because if he was out here cheating, it's different states have different laws when it comes to that.
So I've seen people who have prenups and the lawyers still break the chick off bread, right? But my question though is that my thing is this. I mean, like, I don't know how much, bruh, they wasn't together that long, right? So my thing is that here we go. So let's just say he got $90 million. They got a $14 million house. Let's just say hypothetically, Tracy Morgan has $120 million cash, right?
Yeah.
So his net worth might be 150, which I still couldn't imagine him having this kind of money, but he got a $90 million settlement, let's just say.
Yeah.
So what is a reasonable amount that you say, listen, regardless of what happens of why we're getting divorced, we're getting divorced? Like, isn't 10 million? Like, that's okay? 5 million? That's 5 million more than you had before. So let's say you get $1 million for every year we were married. Is 5 million enough?
I mean, I understand what you're saying, and I think that
we don't have kids.
I understand, and like I said, I do think that at the end of the day, they're gonna come to a lower agreement. But from her standpoint, and her lawyers, if she has lawyers, her lawyers are gonna tell you, yeah, we gotta shoot high, and they're gonna use the reasoning about the saving of the life and allowing him to continue to work as a way to try to get some of that settlement money. And
5 million, bro. $1 million for every year.
I'm not even arguing with that. Like I said, I'm not defending it. I'm just saying I'm giving his reason as to why. As somebody who was divorced and has went through situations of knowing how things get split, I had to fight for stuff for me. So I mean, but again, like
he needs to come. Listen, bro. I need to have like a marriage consulting business for men before they get to where they at, though, man. I'm almost a pro at this thing at this point, there, bro. Hampson.
Yeah.
But I heard from the research department. Shout out to Ralph, because he said I always talk about the just
Jared,
some noteworthy.
Jared, man. Good to see you, bro. Go ahead.
Absolutely. Now listen, bro. Some noteworthy breakups, man, during quarantine. Now, this is what's crazy to me, Ace, because I'm just wondering, right? So think about this. If you had issues before quarantine, right? Yeah. And now you don't have the outlets to help you cope with those things. So you're sitting here, worst case scenario, you're sitting here you with somebody who put them hands on you, right? You with a wife beater. You with somebody who verbally abuses you and everything. And now you're on quarantine with this fool, this chick. You know, you don't have anywhere to go. So I'm wondering if these were issues that were already there, and now the quarantine has brought them to light because you have to be around this person more than you had to be around this person in the past.
Yeah.
But we heard from the research department, Jay Cutler and Kristen Cavallari. Now, it's funny because Jay Cutler, she was trying to get the house, and Jay Cutler was just like, his was hilarious on how he was going through his thing with her, though, bro. Dr. Dre filing for divorce with this girl. They've been together for a hot minute. He has a prenup. Now, Dre was supposed to be worth around $1 billion. How much do you give? Do you say you get half $1 billion? She ain't Jeff Bezos' wife.
She gonna get some money, though.
She gonna get some bread, but I'm sitting here thinking like 50 million good for her. Like, isn't that enough? 50 million if you get $1 billion?
I don't know, brother.
Okay, so listen. Kelly Clarkson has recently gotten divorced, and she said it was one of the best things ever happened. The quarantine to her exposed everything that was wrong in her marriage. She said she got divorced. She's never been so happy, more relieved in her life. Quarantine, bro.
She's probably gonna drop that weight too.
She gonna be out here looking like Adele, fool.
I'm telling you.
Adele out here. I saw Adele wearing her Beyonce King Black is King costume. She out here looking thin in these streets, man.
Hey, bro.
Listen, Ray J and Princess, man. Boy, I thought Princess, you told me she wasn't the girl who he sidestepped and dashed off in the pool real quick. But he got divorced from her. At least they filed. I'm not sure if they actually got divorced, but they actually filed. Megan Fox and Brian Austin Green, which, listen, man, Brian Austin Green has been getting by for a long time off of 90210, bro. Yeah. To be able to scoop Megan Fox when you haven't had any significant acting roles in 20 years.
Who she been out there in the streets with, though? She been out there with
out here with Machine Gun Kelly here fast. Listen, bro, I'm not going to lie to you, man. I would feel some kind of way if seconds after the ink is dry, the research department is out here running around town with somebody else.
Yeah,
now,
but
I'm gonna have to run up on it. Don't matter. I'm running up on you. You got to show me he a better man than I am. But Brian, listen, if you scoop Megan Fox off of 90210 was almost 30 years ago. We was in high school. Was it 20-something years ago, 25 years ago? You got you Megan Fox. He can scoop him another one. If somebody is going to appreciate him from 90210, though, bro. Listen, Megan Thee Stallion and Tory Lanez. Quarantine breakup, bro. Kim and Kanye. Quarantine. What if they've already had some issues and Kanye is bipolar, like she's saying, she's been able to deal with it, but now she's not trying to expand. She got to be around him more. He got to be around her family more. Like, come on, bro. Like, if you've had problems around them more, now you're getting more of that. Hey, man, listen. Is this quarantine exposing these flaws, man? Absolutely.
I mean, it's one of those things, like, you have to have an outlet. You and I talk about that all the time. You know, we talk to each other quite a bit, and we, you know, share things to keep ourselves sane and to make sure that we are handling things the right way, because, you know, I hold you accountable, you hold me accountable. Even when it's sometimes things that we don't want to hear. And so the thing is that if you had any issues, yeah, there it's not even about it being exposed. You're gonna have to deal with it face on. Before, you could just get up, go to work, and all right, I'll deal with that when I get home. But when it's there in your face 24/9, it's crazy. So
I think that it's interesting though, man. Real quick, thank you for the correction there, Vixen. She said Ray J and Princess, they're still married. They stopped the process. I think their thing was a little silly, and to be honest, I thought that their reasons just may have been just a little. I don't know all the details. Got to get the research department and look into that one though.
She kept saying Ray J abandoned her and the kids.
Shout out to Ralph, because I said the research department just because he said that last week though. But yeah, I did see that she say something about Ray J abandoned them, and I just don't. That to me seems so one sided, bro. That I would just have to know more about that, though, man. But I do think that it's something to be said, though, man, about relationships and these kind of issues, and knowing who you have, knowing who you're laid up with. Like if you're sitting here, think about that, though, bro. There could be somebody who had been just waiting, and they just had it on their to-do list. Like, I'm about to go ahead and finally leave this chick. And then COVID happens, and then now you thinking like, all right, I gotta at least hold it down. Now you gotta tolerate more of her BS. She gotta tolerate more of your BS. And so it's just one of those things, though, man, where I'm just kind of curious on if this is causing those previously exist. People, you talk about COVID attacking previously existing conditions. What if this is a previous existing issue within your relationship, though, bro? That's crazy.
It is crazy, but it is it's proven that that's what it is, being cooped up with somebody for so long. Cabin fever set in, and even people get tired of their kids. You know what I'm saying? Like it's, we as humans, we are just meant to get out and to socialize and to be stuck with the same people all day, every day. A lot of people can't even eat the same foods back to back. And so it's just one of those things to always constantly change it up. And absence makes the heart grow fonder. So when you're away from somebody, it makes you kind of miss them. So when you don't have to be away from them, you don't miss them.
I can see that, man. I am hoping, though, bro, that like some of these, man, I think that like when I look at like Kelly Clarkson, she describes her thing like it was just completely toxic, right? And I think that so many people were just relieved when she went ahead and finally got it. So I think that for her health, she said like, yeah, it was one of the best things I could do. Kelly Clarkson has always been a curvier girl. I fully expect that she's about to go ahead and drop this marriage weight. She's going to be out here trying to stunt for the next person. She's going to be out here having homeboy wishing. So I don't know, man.
And Wendy Williams, her stuff was 2020 BC, right?
I think that it may have been 2020 BC. And I think, though, that didn't she say something about that her husband had got a whole chick pregnant on the side or something like that?
Yeah, he was buying her cars and stuff, bro. That boy Kevin was out there wilding, bro.
Oh my God. Like this, that gotta be nice if you can have so much money that you can buy a car without somebody just hell. I get questions. Listen, I might get some questions about a week later about something I bought that was $20 ago, man. Like, oh man. And Ace, can you imagine my buyer's remorse? I already got buyer's remorse for myself, but to say, oh, baby, I'm gonna go ahead and buy you a car, and me not get the buyer's remorse would kick in before I even utter the words. Like, what?
Yeah.
Oh my God, man. Like, I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I hope the best for these people, though, man. But listen, I think that at the end of the day, though, bro, that it has been some very interesting time, and I just expect that that throughout the year, people break up, get together all the time, but I expect, though, that that'll be more of a thing, though, man.
Yeah.
As long as Beyonce and Jay-Z stay together, I'm good.
Well, they had to come out with Lemonade for that to happen.
Hey, I saw my boy Hove in Black is King. Yeah. It was dope. Listen, I'm gonna say it because I don't know if you saw that yet.
I saw it.
Okay, Friday, we talking some more Beyonce. We gonna beehive it up for a little bit, though, man. But I thought we gonna talk about it.
You might be doing more than talking about it, but
we gonna be talking about that beehive because, bro, I got a lot to say about it, though, man. I always got a lot to say about my girl Beyonce, but we talking about it.
Yeah.
Hey, man, what you got, Ace? Can you get us on out of here, man?
Bro, so I'm just mad that this whole time you ain't say nothing about my red tail shirt, my brother.
You know what, though, man? Here's what's crazy, though, bro. I saw you know what it is? I can't see. I see the top. I can't see the rest of it. So I just thought, hell, it looks in the camera, it looks gold. So I was thinking, like, all right, maybe that's just that looked dope. But I thought that it was like one of the colors of Tari's. I thought it was like Tari's school mascot or something. Like, I can't see the rest of it from here though.
Yeah, but
it looked dope though.
So yeah, other than that, man, like I said, I'm gonna be setting a bunch of stuff up when I get off of here. Looking forward to Friday's show.
Friday is gonna be dope.
Yeah,
we got a couple things up the sleeve though for Friday though, man. Plus, by Friday, one of the things we got to do is we got to recap Rick Ross 2 Chainz versus battle. Any last minute thoughts on that, Ace Kennedy?
No.
Oh my gosh, dude, you killing me. Dude.
I don't care about that battle, bro.
It's gonna be better. It's gonna be way better than you think. I don't think that it's gonna be as entertaining as Snoop Dogg and DMX, but I think that it's gonna be one of the better ones. I think that both of them will be doing theirs from Atlanta, so I fully expect for the Wi-Fi to not be an issue. So yeah, we're gonna have that one as a topic that we're gonna recap on the Friday show, though, man. Other than that, what you got until we catch up with everybody on Friday? You got the video, and when are you trying to drop the video?
Maybe next week. Really, I mean, it just depends on how far we can get with this editing. I've been working on it every day, so I still got a little bit more to go. So, yeah.
Hey, by Friday, I gotta tell you.
What's up?
I heard from the research department. We talk about Drake facts. We've been talking about this whole time. We've been tossing around Drake. Ace Kennedy.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm gonna have to eat my words on Drake, bro. I think I'm gonna have to eat my words on Drake, bro.
I mean, look, Busta's great. You gotta understand, Busta's in my top.
I think I'm gonna have to eat my words on the Drake.
But you, all you gotta do is watch that show with him and Wayne where they went back and forth playing their hits and then they did their songs together. I'm telling you, bro, it was like, oh, I forgot about this song. Like, it's crazy.
I think I might have to eat my words.
Yo, but before we go, I did want to say, so me and the kids started cleaning out the garage, right? And I just put on some songs. I put on Tidal, put on a playlist, bro. It was so many songs that Kels had wrote, bro. I was like, this boy Charlie is tripping.
No.
Kels, listen, allegations or whatever you believe about him aside, hey, Kels is the GOAT, bro.
No, I don't get me wrong. No, I think I said R. Kelly would wash anybody.
Man, Kels, it's like I was just listening to songs like, oh my, bro, he had B2K sounding out here killing.
Oh, hold on. Mark, you got a good point. We got what you got? How much time you got?
I mean, I'm at the skedaddle pretty soon.
Okay, let me tell you some facts here. He said you were supposed to be proving your point with Chris Brown versus Usher with the help of the research department. You got a good point here.
Do that on Friday.
Friday might be a very versus heavy day then, but hey, let me we got the facts. We got the facts from the research department. They was extensive with this one here, bro. All right, listen. Other than that, Friday. So we got the recaps versus real heavy. Listen, 7:00 next Friday. Y'all know where we gonna be at, man. Slash Brothers. We out this day. Let me get that music one good time. Bro.
Hey, Mark, I did finally listen to Voodoo or Vito, and you straight?
I had the excellent outro.
I know. I'm saying.
Okay, let me run it back. Let me run it back.
You know Ace Kennedy though.
All right, listen. 7:00 Slash Brothers. 6:00 CSC. Y'all know where we be at. Ace, roll that beautiful music. Get us out of here. Right on time. I'm gonna leave it when they get to Slash. Let me hear it.
The Slash Brothers Podcast, the greatest podcast of all time. The Slash Brothers Podcast. The greatest podcast of all time.
Yep.
Yep.